Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming with more Dawn of Man in the village of Gruntings. What'd you guys think I was gonna go, every single time? Now, I will have you know that is a very paleolithic assumption for you to make. We are actually progressing through the Neolithic era right now, so we're actually getting pretty close to being done here. A little ways to go. I do want to pick up the megaliths, which is a fun little addition of giant stones for your spiritualism, so that'll be cool. Wouldn't mind getting fortifications. Well, digging's just kind of okay. I mean, it's important at some point, especially when you get to the Iron Age. Right now, meh, I got a river nearby, I'm alright. The Copper Age, however, is when we're going to get to have a bit more fun. Now, copper tools aren't amazingly important to the beginning of the game. They are not really any better, I think, than flint tools. We'll find out for sure in a second. But I'm pretty sure they're not actually any better. That said, I mean, it's always going to be nice to have some additional knowledge sources of crafting new tools, and we'll be able to domesticate fruit trees, and rye, and cattle, and donkeys, so we can make carts. That'll be good. And then we'll convert that copper into bronze using tin, and that's when you start getting the next tier of really good tools. So, lots more stuff that we need to do. Now, in order to progress, of course, we need a lot more knowledge. What can I do as far as getting some more knowledge? Few things. So we could be building up a bunch more huts and stuff. A lot of this is just going to happen naturally. Going on a lot more hunting tours would be fine as well. There are some resources still to be gathered and also some tools that we need to create. So for example, we never actually made 10 wooden spears, which means we are missing out on the knowledge from this. Same from the wooden harpoons. Now these are useless tools to me. However, they're very cheap. So would it be worth using a few branches just to go ahead and make a few of these so I can at least get some knowledge out of them? And the answer is probably yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think is how many we needed there. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's all we needed. And that should be 2 more knowledge right there. We also should make ourselves some slingshots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be 1 shy. All right, well, give it a second. Something is about to finish over here. 10, there we go. 10 slingshots. Again, are they better than bows? No. But do they get me some much-needed knowledge? Yes, and I think that that is a worthwhile endeavor. We need more sledges, since apparently those are starting to break down. We did just recently learn how to make a bridge, so I would like to build one of those. Hello. These are raiders. Did no one want to notify me that we were being raided? Because I didn't see anything down over here saying we were being raided. Okay, hang on. They decided to swim. Wait, you aren't walking along the... No, they're dead. Oh. Never mind. I thought they were swimming along the river. No, those are just dead bodies. Never mind, we're fine, we're fine. Okay, good, yes. Right, so I wanted to build a bridge in a few key areas so I can gather up resources a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and look at doing that transport bridge. And it works exactly as you would expect it to. You click on one side. Oops, it would help if I did it right. Click and drag, kind of like this. And then boom, you can place down a bridge. There we go, we built a bridge, we harvested some pulses, we killed some bears, and now I have a little bit more knowledge to work with. So let's go ahead and pick up the megaliths so we can start working on our spirituality, since morale is starting to get a little low for a few people. Now, in order to work with the megalith, that sounds like something from StarCraft, we need to gather up standing megalith stones. Where the heck are those? That's these things, right here. Gigantic megalith stones. What we have to do is mine them free, getting rid of all the little rocks that are kind of tying them together. Then we're going to have to build a little cart around it and have people drag them back over to the base. Surprise, surprise, it's a very slow and painstaking process. Who would have thought that taking a giant freaking rock, putting it on a wooden sledge, and dragging it by hand would be a very strenuous activity? I certainly didn't expect it, but here you are. We seem to have reached a small problem where we have too many animals now. Okay, so one thing we may want to do is cull the herd a little bit. If I go to my limits, we can actually set limits on animals. So, for example, I don't ever want to have more than 10 goats. What that should mean is, I think, they will automatically cull any excess numbers of goats. So the problem probably is that I have too many goats and sheep. Yeah, that means I need to have at least 20 capacity if I want to have about 10 of each of them. Or I could just reduce the number of goats a fair bit. And that would be fine. Or we could just, build another stable. And I think I'll just go ahead and build myself another stable. We'll place one right over here so they can be relatively close together. Alright, so we apparently have reached another milestone. Domestication knowledge +2, because we've domesticated a whole bunch of animals. Look at that little goat, surrounded by goat skulls. This is your future. Now that these megaliths have been freed from their surrounding rocks, we can click on the Prepare for Transport button, which does require some logs and some much-needed leather. But once done with all of that, they'll be put on a nice little cart, and then we can decide what we want to do with them. I think I will want to place down a proper, big, gigantic rock somewhere in the middle of the base. How about right over here, just for some spirituality? We'll build a few of these using our rolling megaliths here, just get these all set up, get some basic ones going, but then, once we have 6 of them, what I'll probably do is deconstruct all the ones that I've set up throughout the base, and instead we can build ourselves a stone circle, like Stonehenge. There you go, guys. Put your backs into it. Don't worry about the fact that rock probably weighs like 3,000 pounds. You can handle it with the power of prehistoric ingenuity. There we go. Success. We set up a big frickin' rock. Oh, that should meet all of our spiritual needs. How the heck this thing is gonna cross that rickety old bridge, I don't even know. Somehow it's gonna make it, though. Look at him go. Wow. Dude, okay, I am an advanced human in the year 2020, and even I could not think of how to build a bridge that would hold that much freaking rock. Jeez, dude. Uh-oh, raiders. This time there are 5 of them. Oh, that is more raiders than I'm used to, and they're going to use my bridge against me. Oh, that doesn't seem very appropriate at all. All right, where is everybody? Gather up. Everybody gather up. We're gonna go kill the raiders. Now, unfortunately, the bridge gives them kind of an easy avenue to come and attack me, so you don't have to catch them while they're swimming across a river. Fortunately, they don't feel the need to kill my goats. Oh, but they do feel the need to kill my puppy. Well, peachy. All right, so these guys are all going to die. I might lose 1 or 2 more, depending. So far, so good. There we go. We do get a little bit more knowledge for killing all the raiders. Cool. Yeah, keep sending those guys after me. That would be great. What we need to do is start doing some mass deforestation programs and set up some proper palisades, because now is about the time when I'd like to defend myself. Unfortunately, we have a long way to go before I can move on to the Copper Age. 20 knowledge here is going to be a little expensive. This, I find, is kind of like the big slowdown for the game, is going from Neolithic to Copper. One thing to note, though, once we do go from Neolithic to Copper, I believe the woolly rhinos and the mammoths go extinct, though, to be honest, I haven't seen them in a while. Have they already gone extinct? They might already have gone extinct, and that would be sad if that's the case and I missed it. I think they might have, actually. I haven't seen any for a very, very long time. Aw. Look up one day, and where'd the mammoths go? They're gone. Gone forever, never to be seen again. Ah, Noko got struck by lightning, no! While he was trying to take down the totems! The gods are angry! Oh, this is unfortunate. Goats have contracted a disease. And of course, they spread it to all the other goats. Well, we might be about to witness the end of our herd. I can probably tame some more, but yes, do be aware of that. Your animals are likely to eventually spread pestilence between them all, and you will be sad. Weirdly enough, though, even though they died of disease, we are completely comfortable with devouring their flesh. What the heck were you doing in there? I don't even want to know. Weird fact, by the way, about recycling some of your megaliths. Apparently, they can break them, because I've had a couple just mysteriously disappear. Well, that's unfortunate, because that means I need to go hunting for more megaliths. I believe there are a cluster of, like, 3 way over here. There are. It's going to take a very long time for them to do anything about this, but alright, if we want to build up our own little Stonehenge, I better gather them up. Now, at this point, we almost have enough knowledge to progress to the Copper Age. However, I'm not going to do so right away. We absolutely want to get some level of fortification set up beforehand. Why? Because once you reach the Copper Age, animals stop being your main threat on the map, and instead you will find yourself being periodically raided by much larger groups, and you want to be sure that you have all your defenses in place. I am going to be placing some gates kind of relatively close to the bridges, but then we want to have a lot of towers and stuff to defend us. So we can build palisades for logs, gates also for logs. Then there are these wooden platforms where people can shoot from inside of the walls. You just place them right up against the walls, they hop onto the platform, and that's a good little position for the archers. Or you place a watchtower, which is far more expensive, but does provide better protection than the wooden platform. The downside to watchtowers is they're fairly squishy, believe it or not. They're actually relatively easy to kill, so I'm a little concerned about some of that, but I'm sure it'll end up being just fine. Let's go ahead and start building this out along the outside of the water. We do want to give ourselves as much build space as possible, So I'm going to go ahead and start setting up some very large fortifications. Aha, at last, it looks like our stone circle is being built. Oh, and our last sheep has died. Well, that's really unfortunate now, isn't it? Okay, bodes well. Bodes very, very well. We can actually watch these guys just build up a proper stone circle. And this is supposed to be like one of the great mysteries and stuff of like human civilization, right? So, I mean, let's watch it in action and see what these devs think happened. Apparently, you rolled the dirt up on some big mounds, okay. And then put the stones on top of that, okay. Yeah, I can get kind of behind that. Does seem like a weird, kind of inefficient structure. And look at the goat who's taking up residence right in the center. Oh, man, so full of itself. And we should have gotten a milestone for that, right? Did I not? I thought we would. Build a stone circle. There it is. I was gonna say, where's my milestone? Found it. Okay, look at us. Looking pretty good. We got these walls going all the way around. We got a big honking stone circle. It's beautiful. So all of a sudden, we're looking really civilized. Super civilized, in fact. Now, if I can just finish up these walls, I'll go ahead and move on to that Copper Age. And we'll have to deal with a lot more raiders, but we'll also be able to take advantage of whole new resources. There we go. The village of Gruntings has been properly walled off, which means now I feel comfortable moving on to the Copper Age. It's going to take 20 of my 40 knowledge currently available and will unlock a lot of fun stuff. Let's go ahead and enter the Metal Age. Highly recommended that you fortify your settlement and have enough people to defend from raiders. I feel confident everyone is armed and we have a lot of walls. So with that done, now we have to move on to the next round of technology, and this all is getting a little on the expensive side. 10 knowledge each. We could start cattle domestication, we could start growing our own fruit trees, or we could go for donkeys and carts. This is going to increase our efficiency by transporting goods really fast, so I like the idea of doing this. Alternatively, we skip it and move directly onto the Bronze Age, which is funny, but probably not what we need. Let's go ahead and unlock donkey domestication and also go for the wheel. And boom, okay, so with that done, can we now find any donkeys on the map? Donkeys aren't always immediately available, so we may have to wait a little while, but as soon as I find some, I know that I want them. Where the heck could some donkeys be? Looking for some young, impressionable donkeys who are willing to pack up and seek out a new life with adventure and stuff. You'll totally not be slaughtered. No takers? Drat. We did unlock access to some new copper mine shafts, kind of like we had done for flint, so I'm going to go ahead and place those down wherever I think I can find some. They should have the kind of blue veiny color. I'm not seeing a whole lot nearby. There's a good number of mines over here, good lord. Okay, well this does get to use the new metallurgy tab right over here. Go ahead and build a few of those. And in metallurgy, there's a few things that we could build. We can build a charcoal pit, which takes wood and makes charcoal. Then we can build a pit furnace, which allows us to smelt the copper and tin together into bronze. We don't have tin yet, so that's not important. A metalsmith, a place to make our copper and bronze tools. And finally, under production, we now have access to the workshop, which allows us to make various different miscellaneous tools. I think it's just a straight-up upgrade of the crafter. I think we can build one and find out for sure. Oop, and sure enough, we can see that the woolly rhino has gone extinct. Huh, so they weren't extinct before the Copper Age. I was right before. We've just been unlucky and not spotted any. And there goes the mammoth. Aww. It's sad. Donkeys! A whole bunch of donkeys have arrived. Oh, and there's a bunch of young ones too. We can possibly get 4 of them. Okay, top priority now, tame the stupid donkeys. Don't let them go very far, alright? These guys are super duper high priority. Can I even set them as a high priority? No, I cannot. But hopefully you guys get the heck over here. They're just sitting here waiting. They're like, hey, I heard there was a want ad for some freaking donkeys. We're here. And they'll be like, sorry, we don't need adults. What? Slaughter. Let's go ahead and place down a charcoal pit. I wouldn't mind burning some excess logs and turning that into something useful like charcoal. We'll also need a whole new production area for our pit furnace. Now, where do I want to do this? So with this storage hut, what I'm tempted to do is say we should only allow in various different materials, specifically of the type of metals, if that's allowed. I'm not sure if we can specify that far, but maybe that'd be nice. Anyway, from that, though, we go ahead and place down a couple of pit furnaces. Maybe we don't want to place them right next to the haystacks, exactly. But something like this should be fine, and I don't think we need more than 2. At least for the start of the game, we might need a lot more eventually. Then we also want to get ourselves a metalsmith. And I guess I'm okay with placing it right over here, kind of at a good central storage location like so. So we can quickly grab the metal, toss it into the pit with some charcoal, and then grab the metal and turn it into tools. Now, ideally, what I want to do is craft at least 10 of each tool so I can get the knowledge for having crafted all the different tool types. That is ultimately what I am going for. See, there we go. Now we have our pit furnace, and that is going to turn the charcoal and the copper into just copper ore. Now, I'm not looking to smelt like an absolute ton of copper, because ultimately I'm looking to progress beyond copper into the Bronze Age, so we'll want to save some of those materials, but at least enough to get me going. That's all I'm looking for. We should also go ahead and unlock things like, let's say, maybe some fruit tree domestication, or do we want cattle? Cattle are actually pretty useful. Not only do they produce milk, but when they get old enough that you want to slaughter them, you can get some more hides and some additional meat out of them, so that's pretty good. I have seen some oryx wandering around lately. Where'd you all go? I may have accidentally killed all of them. That's possible, but when we see more oryx, that's what we're looking for. What's this? Hey, look, horses. Eventually we'll be able to tame them as well, but not quite yet. Hey, raiders are on the way! Everyone get inside, please, and thank you. All of you, quickly, get the heck out of there. No, for real, like, all of you, run. Run like crazy, get across the bridge. Forget planting the crops, they can wait. I can't plant new humans, not easily anyway. Alright, everyone's going to be getting automatically into watchtowers. Now, the one downside of placing watchtowers is sometimes you have people hopping into watchtowers far away from the raiders, which is obviously not ideal. We all want them to go over to this one area where we're about to be attacked. So I think for these guys, what I can do is disable these watchtowers, and that should ensure that all of my workers, or all my citizens, are going to go over here to the gates. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Everyone should be getting across about now. Now I want to close the gates. And the watchtowers should be able to do the rest of the job. Looks like a dog got trapped outside and is going to die as a result. So the watchtowers will do their job. You can see, though, they don't have a whole lot of help. So it's very easy to lose a watchtower or two in these raids. But this way, I didn't actually lose anybody. So, I mean, it was still better. It's just watchtowers aren't fantastic. Now, in the meantime, we have moved all of our crops outside of the walls, so over time I'm going to go ahead and start removing these guys. Don't want to have anything inside, because this is all going to end up being for residential and crafting eventually. Speaking of crafting, we have finished with the metalsmith, so now I'm going to go ahead and queue up a handful of tools. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to make 10 of each. Again, though, you'll notice their stats not better than flint, right? So we have 2 and 2 for a copper spear compared to a flint spear, which is also 2 and 2. And this is more expensive to make. So all I'm trying to do is just get the knowledge out of this, and then when we do move on to bronze, that's when I move on to my next set of tools. We can get some more knowledge. Let's go for the fruit tree domestication, just because that could be kind of nice. And just because I wouldn't mind a little bit of greenery inside of the walls, let's plant some, cherry trees. Yes, let's plant some cherry trees right over here in a nice, picturesque area in the middle of the base. They take up a lot more space, though, so that's always fun. Ooh, ride domestication is a technology. Now that's something I wouldn't mind just picking up to save myself some knowledge. What can I sell off en masse? Well, I do see fishing tools. You can see that these are worth 15, which is pretty solid, and it will last this way for the rest of the game, I believe. So we could trade off a few of those. Could trade away a handful of extra flint spears. I definitely want to get this tech, so I'm going for it pretty hard. Skin outfits and stuff are basically worthless from this point on, so I'm not worried about them anymore. Some wool outfits would be nice. Linen's not worth much. Leather's not worth much. Could trade away our excess copper spears, but flint commands the same price and is an outdated technology. So I'll go ahead and sell off some of those and some of our knives. And then let's also pick up... I can't get some wool. Let's get a little bit of copper for good measure. There we go. So we get some technology for free. Well, free. Not costing knowledge, which means we have officially closed out the Copper Age. And if I can get enough knowledge together, we will be able to move on to the oh-so-coveted Bronze Age. Get some upgrades for our tools, try to upgrade everything else around us, get better production, a lot more housing, a lot more people, and then move on to the Steel Age, well, Iron Age, where you get even better tools, better everything. is going to be freaking awesome. I'm looking forward to it, but I think this is a good place to stop this video. So thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time in the town of Gruntings.